Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Babble PlayCast. I'm Justin. this
Okay.
is this is still Sleepy Robert,
Is Detective Sleepy?
Detective Sleepy from the Agent Nap Nap
Yeah.
from the Nighttime Agency. No, so I had to restart the recording because there was a couple arguing in the background.
Oh no.
And for the sake of last time, because I told the story that my house was almost engulfed in flames because of these people around junkies. Essentially, what I'm saying, a couple crackheads running around, burned the place down. So there's that, and I do apologize for the background noise. Well, actually, me and Robert we're talking about the episode that we did on the forest, which should be up next week, I believe. If we have anything else we were gonna do, only for the fact that Robert got a capture card finally.
Yeah, finally.
He doesn't love me enough to buy me one, so I'm just gonna have
I
to
don't
wait.
have the money to buy you one.
No,
You're getting money in like a week or two. Calm down.
I
Hopefully.
doubt it. Financial aid screwed me.
But like,
So
yeah, you'll get your money in a bit.
yeah, you'll get it. When I don't know, but you'll get it. No, but me and Robert were talking about things that we liked, and I had said for a while that I wasn't comfortable letting people know that I still like Power Rangers or I still watched anime because from a young age you were told that you need to start acting like an adult, you know. And in my head I'm like, no, no, I don't want to be an adult. It's hard.
Yeah.
Uh, so I thought I gotta keep this a secret. I nobody can know that I like all this nerdy stuff.
They can't know my true identity.
But it it did sadden me that I couldn't really talk about it. So when I met Amy, we talked about the Power Rangers and stuff, and then I started spiraling, and the next 70 years later, just finally living my life as who I wanted to be, just a glorified nerd. Now I got a Mega Buster and stuff.
Took you long enough.
Shut up.
It did.
It was just only because I myself was scared what people might think.
Right, you're a bit self-conscious about it.
Yeah, but if you're scared what other people might think in your own little social circle, then maybe those aren't really the people you should be around. I couldn't really tell none of my friends that I still like Power Rangers and stuff, but I did have one friend who knew, and he said, "Oh yeah, that was cool. That it was cool to me that I still like nerd stuff. It wasn't gonna, berate me for it. He was a good friend. He tried to keep up as much as I could when I talked about it. However, it's like when me and you talk about JoJo's and stuff, when we go into the lore and stuff, and you ask me certain questions, I give you an answer that might satisfy that question. It may not be wrong or right or but it was the fact
But
that
it
we
shuts me up.
it doesn't shut you up, but the fact is that it gave you a question, it gave you an answer to your question that was satisfying enough to the point where yeah, that's yeah. But imagine talking to somebody who didn't know what you were talking about.
Right. Well, I mean, we've had that situation where you're talking about Common Rider,
Yeah, like
and
you
it's
don't.
like I don't really know it, but like
It
I'm
look
like, yeah,
cool.
sure, whatever, man.
You're like, I like how some of them looked.
Yeah.
So, but Robert
Except
made
for the
an
bug
attempt.
ones, which is most of them.
And most of them are bug ones. You like the newer ones. You like the XA, the one like the video game ones.
Yeah, the new ones are rad.
And oh, actually, a little side note. Did you know that I think there was a writer that might have pulled off a mock Tiger Drop in one of the series.
Oh,
Yeah, they call it like a writer punch, but
yeah.
it kind of looks like
But it's essentially a tiger drop.
it looks yeah similar to a Tiger Drop, but other than that, he was like really just. It's not like he couldn't leave anywhere. We were at the school and he was in the room with me, and he was on the far side of the room, so it's not like he couldn't just leave and walk, you know. So, but no, he humored me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this looks cool. It looks rad. I like the concept. I don't understand what's going on, but I like the concept.
The flashing colors.
I like the bright colors." So it was nice, and although we may not like everything, there's some like you could take for our music taste at some point. I had to be reminded who Gerard Way was.
Yeah, I thought you
Only
were being sarcastic.
no, cause it was one of those situations where you're like, we just talked about Zoe Quinn. I was like, I don't know who that is. He's like
Oh, right.
you're like, and I forget sometimes, so Robert has to remind me. And there are sometimes where I just remember stuff out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like you
So
just blurted out. I'm like, what are you talking about, you maniac?
yeah, but in all seriousness, nothing nothing feels better or feels as good as talking to somebody who knew who you were talking about. Again, not discrediting any of your friends who may not know what you're talking about, and it's not like you're chained down to one friend. You're allowed to have multiple best friends. It's just in me and Robert's scenario, we're introverts, so we make one friend and that's it.
Yeah, like one or two. And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
one or we have one or two friends, and that's it. But the whole purpose of the playcast and the channel is that you come, you hang out with us, relax, take a deep breath. Especially now of all times, things are pretty crazy out there. So
Yeah.
I thought that maybe if you came and talked to us about stuff that we would be, it's kind of like you come to us talking about JoJo's, talk about Power Rangers. It's for the few people out there who know about Kamen Rider. We can talk about Kamen Rider. We can talk about all the other nerdy stuff. Steven Universe. That's pretty cool. We were singing the song when we were playing Minecraft Steven Universe, and
The Steven Universe pack.
yeah, we and if we may not know what it is, leave it in the comments. Something that you're very passionate about that maybe none of your friends know what it is. It could also help that you can have somebody to talk to about it or somebody to geek out with. So me and Robert are gonna go through our, I guess, origin story of how we really became nerds and why people shouldn't be discouraged to let other people know that you're nerds, and it shouldn't just be based off your age. It shouldn't just be, oh, you still like Power Rangers? What are you, 30? Yeah, what of it? They're still pretty badass. I can't help what I like. Obviously, there are some stuff where I no longer think it's cool anymore, but that's only because my maturity and stuff. I change, and there are a few things back in the day that I thought was cool that I don't think is cool now. Like I used to love Transformers, but I'm not really into them as much as I used to be.
Bay.
I don't discredit it. Like I don't say that. Oh, this and this. You know what I mean?
Like, oh, it's for children. You shouldn't like that anymore. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and I think I might have messed up OBS. I'm gonna double
Oh
check.
no.
Hopefully things are okay. Hold on, I'm gonna double check OBS, make sure that, cause like I'm looking at it right now, it's all, whoa. Give me 1 second, Robert. Again, I apologize. This is okay. Good. So I have a headset mic and I have a snowball mic, and I was just double checking to make sure that it wasn't picking up my
What's
headset
that?
mic. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's set to my blue snowball. Sorry about that.
Okay. Wait, you're
Uh,
wearing the headset right now?
yeah, that's what I'm using to listen to audio with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they still work as headphones. But
Yeah.
so your earliest, as you could remember, we discussed that it was Power Rangers, right?
Yeah, most likely.
For me, that was a gateway to other stuff. I was like, Power Rangers, Beetleborgs. I guess
Oh my god, I
VR.
forgot the boards.
I guess VR Troopers. No, no, no.
Maybe.
Maybe, but it opened up an avenue like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and that was just the standard nerd stuff when I was a kid. I think,
Yeah.
given that things have changed, like if I were to look at Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, like now when I was a kid, it would have blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And it did.
whoa! Like I was into games a lot. Like it was just game, and it still is. It still is. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that you can make a living playing games. Obviously, as of right now, that's not the case. We're sitting at 4 subscribers on YouTube.
And how many views? Like 50?
Yeah, 50 views, but hopefully that
I
would
mean,
change.
that's fine.
Yeah. Um. So if you made it this far into the into the episode, the game we're playing is The Warriors. It's on PS2. PS2 on PS4 on the PlayStation Network. I don't know how it is for the Xbox One, but all I know is that we have it on the on the PS4. So there was been a bit of a change of the schedule. If you saw that there were already rapid like playcast episode 1, 2, and 3 went up one after another, and then we started doing the forest. That's only because I couldn't wait to do an LP. We just decided let's find a game that had very few cutscenes that didn't require us to do anything. And lo and behold, Robert is getting a capture card, so hopefully we can start throwing up actual like LPs. But
Eh,
the schedule will change. I think it'll be from Monday through Saturday will be regular LPs. What we have going on, and then Sundays will be when we throw out the playcast. So you'll start seeing every so not every so often, but every Sunday is when we'll do the playcast.
yeah, it'll be like stick once every week.
And it's only because if you see a slow flux, it's just that sometimes me and Robert are tired. We still have college courses to go through, and it's frustrating.
I might have mentioned this before, but I have a 10, 15 page report to do at some point.
Yeah,
I'm not excited about that.
no, and it does cut into the time that we have.
Yeah.
So, but I I wanted to go back. And speaking of homework too, like I wanted to go back and talk about what I felt when I play games. Like you may not see the perspective from your point. Like you can't see why we liked it. You're like, oh well, you still like video games? What are you like, 12? Aren't you like an adult? Yeah, I'm an adult. Just instead of berating me, hear me out. Like look at it from my point of view. It's like when people look at sports. You know, I don't understand sports. Good on you. And someone said that why would you spend your time watching somebody play another game when you could play it yourself? That works both ways. Why would you watch someone play basketball when you can play basketball on your own? It's at
And you.
yeah. All right, real quick, Robert. Give me a quick test recording. Say hi.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba.
All right, cool. So I'm just making sure you were still there. You didn't fall asleep on me.
Oh no, I'm stoic.
I'm still awake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. Actually, when we took like short minute break before I got on Discord, I woke up.
that was because I was yelling at you.
So now, yeah, now I'm like pretty wide awake.
Sorry, I wasn't yelling at him. I figured if I
He was
nagged
a
you
bit late.
enough. So, what do you remember what your first console was?
Um, Nintendo 64,
Me
Super
too.
Nintendo, one of those two.
The N64 was my first console. My first game was Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, okay. I
No, that's not
think.
true. That's not
Oh,
true.
really?
No, I think it was Mario 64.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my first one.
Mario 64 was my first game, and I got Pokemon Stadium, then Conker's Bad Fur Day. My grandpa gave me that game, and my mom didn't know what the ESRB rating was, so
I
she
don't
just gave
think
it.
anyone knew what it was back then.
So she gave it to me, and she comes in. You guys having fun? While I'm playing a army squirrel blowing a teddy with an Uzi, just. Bah, 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 bah. She's like, "Oh my god, what are you playing? Conker's Bad Fur Day? I thought that was just like a happy little squirrel game." Absolutely not. That game taught me how to curse.
Yeah,
Oh man, I love that game so much. I'm actually gonna see if I can find Live and Reloaded, and hopefully we can do an LP of that. There's also Rare
yeah,
Replay that you can get on Xbox One as well, but
yeah,
you don't have an Xbox One.
yeah. So,
At least not at the moment. We don't.
yeah,
The new consoles are
we
coming out,
may get
so
one eventually.
yeah, new consoles are coming out, so maybe we can like haggle. And one of the aspects, or one of the aspects, I don't know why I said aspect. I was looking at the footage that we have for the Warriors,
Yeah,
and I was looking at the ass whoopings we were giving. So I said aspect. No, what I meant to say, what we were trying to do is that we were gonna play older games. So I have a 360, and I love the 360 era of gaming. Not saying I don't like PS4. I mean, the Yakuza series, the best. The Spider-Man game, the best. A whole
so
bunch.
far.
It was just I love the PS4 and everything. I love all the games on it, but I know,
God of War, the reboot.
yeah, the
It's pretty
360
cool.
era of games kind of hit differently for me. I don't know why. I guess just because it was just that point in my life where things were good. Things were, pretty good. I was still in high school. Uh,
Yeah,
So when I was younger, I ended up getting a 64, a few games, and it just spiraled from there. It just you know, I never had a PlayStation. I had the N64 when it was already on its last legs.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't move to another console or anything. So for my birthday, I was asking for more N64 games, but they quickly figured out that they were no longer around. That there was this new thing coming out. So I tried to win a PlayStation 2 off of off of Toonami when it was aired during the day. Toonami
Right.
had this code
Oh,
going
that
on.
was so weird.
They were like, "Oh, call in this number right now, and you could win, a PlayStation 2 with a copy of Sly Cooper."
Ooh.
So I wrote down the number. I told my mom if she can call it and see.
She
And
said no.
no, she was like, "Okay, I'll call it. We'll see if you win." She said, "No, no, like don't get your hopes up." And as soon as
Right.
she was gonna call the number, here comes my cousin coming in. Oh, you need a credit card for that. And my mom was like, "Sorry, we don't have a credit card." And I believed them.
Yeah.
You don't need a you didn't need a credit card. You just needed to like
Just
just
call
phone.
in.
Yeah, you just call in. I could have won a PS2.
Oh, what a douche.
I was so just upset, and I just didn't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
So until one day, my birthday came around. It was raining that day, and my mom took me home, and she's like, "Here you go." I open it up. Fucking PS2, man. PS2 with Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Finding Nemo, the video game.
Ah.
Finding Nemo was supposed to be for my sister, but my sister didn't care about games at that point.
Yeah.
And then my mom finally took notice of all the ESRB ratings, so it took some convincing to get her to get me San Andreas.
Yeah, of course. I bet.
So that's
That game was crazy for the time.
that was me for that point. What about you? Did you get a PlayStation, dude?
Um, Actually, so it's pretty interesting. Um, I started off with Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo, uh, Mario 64. I had a bunch of Mario games, like all the old school ones.
Yeah, Mario was
Uh,
in abundance at that
yeah,
point.
Turok, Turok 1 and 2. And then there's a big gap in my memory. But I remember after those, I eventually got the Xbox, the original Xbox,
Oh, with a
with
big giant Duke controller.
yeah, dude, I hated those with my
Yeah,
baby hands. Um, it was the original Xbox with Max Payne and one other game. I don't remember what. It might have been Halo.
it was something shooty.
Yeah, it was another shooting game. No, that's what it was. It was Max Payne and the Matrix game.
Which one? Enter the Matrix or Path of Neo?
Was it? It was Enter the Matrix.
Why is
Yeah.
here we go again? I had Enter the Matrix as well. I Path of Neo, and then Enter the Matrix. Get out of my head.
Huh. That's weird. I didn't get Path of Neo until like way later.
Yeah.
So I got those two. I believe it was either for my birthday or Christmas. Not super stoked. Played them like all day, every day.
Until I passed out.
Um, yeah. And then I remember eventually stumbling across Splinter Cell, which is now like one of my favorite series. It's
Yeah.
a shame Ubisoft won't continue it. I hate them.
Yeah. My other cousin. I don't talk about him a lot. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I won't
We'll
say it.
call him.
We'll call him Joe.
Okay.
So he loved the SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. He loved the Tom Clancy, and he loved the Splinter Cell games. Cause while I'd be at school, he'd rent games for the Blockbuster, and he was using my
Yeah. Oh
PlayStation
my
2 to
god.
play it, and he was just blown away. He just loved the Splinter Cell games. I don't know what it was. And one day I was laying down, I don't know, just doing it. He's like, "Hey, Justin, come here real quick." I was like, "Huh? Are you gonna beat me up again?" I'm just kidding. No, not like beat me. Like he said, "No, I did the thing from the TV where you pull someone into the water." And this was before YouTube and stuff, so you couldn't really see that stuff. I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." I'm gonna go back to my room. I got school in the morning.
Yeah, I remember playing Splinter Cell, and there was the triangle jump where you jump on the wall and like do a split, and
Yeah,
it was featured in like all the trailers on
yeah, yeah,
TV,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
and
remember that. I remember that.
I could never pull it off in the game because I was a dumb baby, and I stopped playing it, and I was like, whatever, man. So I stopped playing it for a couple years, and I went back to it, and I finally got it, and I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest feeling in the world. I am unstoppable. And then I beat the game, I fell in love with the series, which is funny because I didn't get the rest of the games until I got a PS2, which was like way later.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was weird. I went from the Xbox to the PS2. I don't know why or when,
Well,
but I did.
that's weird. I went from the PS2 to the Xbox 360.
Huh?
So, my fondest memories for when I was younger was, and I appreciate my mom and my dad. He's my stepdad, but a dad doesn't have to be bound in my blood to be your dad. It's like the way they
Yeah,
said it in Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, the way Yondu says it, he's like, he may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. That's the same concept with my dad, my stepdad. Did everything
yeah,
for me. Bought me a PSP, bought me games for it, bought me the PlayStation 2. That's the only reason why I had it. And then my mom was like, "Oh, what, you're playing that over again? I thought you beat it." I was like, "No, I can't save it." She's like, "What does that mean?" Like, I need a memory card to save my
what's
data
that?
on it. Yeah, she didn't know what that was. And I pointed to a magazine. I was like, I needed to save my games. And that, sure enough, there they go to Walmart, buy me a memory card. My birthday rolled around. I had two wireless controllers and Tony Hawk's Underground.
Hmm.
I was thrilled. I could not tell you how happy I was. And when I unlocked Iron Man in the game, because you can unlock Iron Man and Gene Simmons for whatever reason, and
Yeah, because every Tony Hawk game had like a secret characters.
yeah, like Doom Guy. You had a bunch.
Wolverine.
Yeah, you had a bunch like Spider Man. The I think it was Obi Wan Kenobi and
Wasn't
Darth
Tony Hawk's
Maul.
son in one of them?
I think he's in the reboot,
Huh.
the remaster of Tony Hawk's,
Right.
which just came out. So I
Mm-hmm.
suggest you check it out. I was watching Ray play it. It's pretty cool. Also, Ray, if you happen to come across this, big fan. Please accept my friendship.
Shut up.
But I couldn't tell you how happy I was. I didn't get the PS again. For me, it was I had the Nintendo 64 and the PS2, and then the fat PS2 broke. I couldn't play games anymore. I was devastated. I just was so distraught. So I just played the N64, and then one day my mom was like, "Here, we got you another PlayStation 2." She's like, "But it's not like the one. It's not like yours." I was confused. They got me the brand new one, the Slims. And she got me more. She got me another game along with it. Bully. There we go. It was Bully that she got me. I had Bully on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Because it holds a special place in my heart. Because my cousin had came over, and I stayed up forever playing it. And he laughed, and I asked that for Christmas. I asked what I wanted for Christmas, and lo and behold, Christmas came around. She's like, "Here you go." I was like, I was like, "Bully." I was like, "Thanks." And I was so happy, and I remember my cousin coming over, and he had a game, and he would do this thing where he would say, "Oh, I bet you wish you had this game," but I don't think he meant it
Like in a snobby kind of way.
as something way because I was playing, it, I was liked it, but my mom, for Easter, my mom came. She's like, "Here, I got you this." I was like, "Oh, what is it?" It was the newest Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I was like,
Whoa.
"Fuck."
That feels so far. I mean, it was so long ago, but
Yeah, I was like, "Oof."
man, I feel old.
I oh my god, I love that game, and I cannot tell you the feelings that's bringing it up right now. That I was in middle school, man. It was so much of my life playing these games. I cannot tell you how happy it made me, and I I don't know, man. I was just so captivated. I was just in it. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was just we didn't have a lot of money. Then again, I think me and you were both in that boat
Yeah.
around that time. We didn't really have money to be spending on games and stuff, so you kind of work with whatever it is that you got. But did you ever play the Mortal Kombat Armageddon game?
Yes, I did.
But you had it on the. I'm talking about middle school, so I'm thinking that was back in early 2000s.
I guess. I
Two.
don't really remember.
I. Man, I'm old.
Um, yeah, so I had the PS2, and actually I skipped over one of my favorite games back on the Xbox. Was it the original? I want to say it was the original.
Okay, was it?
Uh, my brother's friend came over and he brought this game with him. I don't know what it was, and you play as a hero, young hero, on his own path to become good or evil. And I was like, whoa, this is cool because your character would change on whatever you were.
Uh huh.
And it turned out to be Fable, and not just
Oh,
Fable, Fable of the Lost Chapters, which I didn't know what that was. And so I played it, and I got to a certain part, which is the ending of the original, because it just kind of cuts off. And my brother's friend's like, "Hey, yeah, this is where the original game cuts off. This is a special version where you continue and you can become the bad guy, like the main villain." And I was like, "Whoa!" My mind was blown.
you're like they can do that? That's a thing. Are they allowed to do that?
Yeah, I was like, "The game could be extended." I didn't know that was a thing. I thought once the game ended, it ended.
Yeah, and you have
I didn't
to
know there were
wait for a
special versions.
yeah, like you have to wait for a sequel or
Yeah, and
yeah.
man, I love that game. Probably my favorite.
I mean, we could probably get Fable on the 360, right?
Yeah, most. I think it is the anniversary on the 360 on the Xbox One. I think it's on both. Maybe it's on the one.
We can probably play through it. I mean, if you want, we can do it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Anyways, so had the Xbox, got the PS2. I don't remember my starting games for it. I guess one of them might have been San Andreas because that was just like a really popular game at the time. Um, I do remember being super into racing games.
I
So
couldn't get into racing games.
I had Need for Speed,
Oh,
Hot Pursuit 2, I think.
Hot Pursuit sounds familiar.
I just remember playing as the cops and like chasing down other players.
Is that Most Wanted? No, yeah, that sounds like Hot Pursuit. Can't
Yeah,
remember. My cousins were.
it Most Wanted was the I think that one came afterwards. I don't remember. My mind's a little foggy on that series. And anyways, I got the PS2, and I do remember not having a memory card and not knowing what that was. So I was
Yeah,
super bummed out. And then we had a pawn shop like right around the corner. It was a bit of a ways off, but close by enough that we could drive to it. And I remember going there, getting two memory cards. One was yellow. I remember that one specifically,
yellow and black.
and the other one was black.
No, like
There's one yellow and one was like all black. I guess someone must have painted it. I don't know.
was it all yellow or was it like
Yeah, it was all
yellow?
yellow.
Oh, say I had a yellow and black one.
Hmm. I don't know. I just got like an all yellow one because I was super into the color yellow for some reason.
Go on.
And I remember seeing a game called Shadow of the Colossus there.
Oh
I
no.
never played it. I never played it, and like now that I know what it is, I kind of regret not getting it back then
Yeah. Well, you didn't know,
because
and
it
you're
looks super interesting. But now, I mean, now it's available.
yeah, like your game your taste in games changes, and that's what I was talking about,
Yeah,
like how the things you like change. I never thought I would be into a game like Persona. I love Persona 5, you know. So it's just for me back then it was always like fighting games like Tekken 4, Tekken
Mortal
5,
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, and then on PlayStation 2, one day I was at the Blockbuster, right, and I was just like like well blah 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 whatever, and I'm walking by and I see a game stick out, right? And I was like, oh, I can't remember. I think it was on PlayStation 2, and I think I was so excited for it, but they were all out of stock for it, and I can't remember what it was. I just remember being super excited. And then they're like, "Oh, we don't have it." I was like, oh, "Okay." I slowly look over to like my right side. I was like, "Hey, what game is this?" She's like, "Oh," she's like, "Do you know what a yakuza is?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Well, like Japanese mafia. It's like a fighting game." I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get this." There wasn't anything there. My mom was getting mad because she wanted to leave.
Yeah, she's like, "Hurry, pick a game, let's go home."
Yeah, so lo and behold, I got the game Yakuza. And I fell in love with the game, and I never knew what came of it. And again, also I played the entire series on
Yeah,
the PS4, which we do also plan on doing a let's play.
right.
And just because I don't want to do Cabaret, Robert's gonna be playing through Yakuza 0.
Yeah. I mean, you're still doing cabaret on yours.
Yeah, I need to get rid. I just finished Real Estate
Yeah.
for it, and I do have the Dragon of Dojima style. Now it's just getting completion points to unlock the rest of the
The upgrades,
the upgrades for it. But
essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was back then, and remind you that me and Robert didn't meet each other until college,
Yeah, which is
6
like
years ago.
6. Yeah.
6 going on 7 years we met each other. So that Jesus, we're old.
Shut up.
You're like, no, shut up, you're old.
Yeah, you're older than me.
By 2 years.
Still older.
Whatever.
Probably
But
got white hair.
that's part of my pigmentation. I don't have a choice in that.
Ah,
Robert, me and Robert, it's weird seeing how much me and Robert had in common back then as well. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you could find that someone here, just tell anybody what you like. Start a conversation. Be like, hey, yo, who likes, I don't know, Steven Universe, Gravity Fall? Who likes Transform? Who likes whatever it is that you like? And I'm sure there's somebody out there who like it. Somebody you can talk to about it. And, connect, hang out. Find yourself a best friend, significant other, somebody. It doesn't have to be, or if you don't understand what it is, introduce somebody. Maybe they'll like it. Did you ever? I never asked you because you never wanted to tell me. But how were your friends like back like then before we met each other?
ever tell you?
Why won't you tell me? Why won't you? I thought you loved
No,
me.
actually, I was kind of still the same. Like, I had very few real friends or close friends. There were two really good friends that I can remember off the top of my head. I won't name them, but one of them, actually both of them, they moved to San Antonio. I don't remember where from, and we just happened to have the same class, and we met there. We were grouped in a project, and I was like, man, I don't work with people I don't know, because I was stubborn back then. Still am.
That's
Whatever.
what back then.
Shut up. And yeah, I ended up working on a group with them, and it turns out they liked the same kind of music as I did, so it was like an instant bond. And we stayed friends up until middle school, and that's when kids are like, "Oh, I want to grow up a little bit and become my own individual."
Yeah,
So we all kind of did that. I became sort of the loner, and one of them stayed like a super nerd, which at that point I thought was like, "You not cool anymore,"
yeah.
which kind of sucks because that's the way I am now. I'm like, "Oh, I love all these nerdy things."
Look at my Castlevania statue that I have.
Shut up! I'm looking right at it. And the other one was kind of off doing their own thing, but one the nerdy kid moved, and we didn't keep in touch until actually we didn't talk until college.
Which is hard.
I don't
Which was
think.
hard for us to do back in the day, because, again, remember we're still in the early days of the internet and MySpace
Yeah,
and
the internet, and
Facebook.
cell phones, and yeah.
So
So I never got to talk to him for several years. The other one, I stayed a little distant from up until high school, as far as I can remember. And then we grew closer, and now they have a kid, which is crazy.
yeah,
They're off being a mom. Um, so yeah, I was pretty distant from people. I mean, there were a few friends I was close with, and a few new friends that I made throughout high school.
yeah,
But like now they're all doing their own adulting. They all
No,
have children mostly,
yeah,
and
like
it's pretty crazy.
yeah, I had for me, I had the same group of friends from middle school until I graduated, and it was a big group of friends. And as I grew older, it just started to dwindle. Everyone was off doing their
Yeah.
own thing, and I remember the one game we would bond over was Halo 3. It was something else, and it was just I can't tell you. But in high school, I was. If anybody who knew me back then, I apologize for being an asshole. I really do. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. I was mean to people. Different from how I am now. You know that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you say things that sound mean, but I know you don't mean them.
No, in context, I sometimes tell Robert, like, man, I'm going to go over there and take you out of your chair and beat you. Like, no, don't do that. I
And
was like,
like,
and
you'll say
immediately,
it at the bus stop.
yeah. And then, and I was like, I gotta beat you. I was like, I get a running start and karate chop you. No. I was like, Robert, you know damn well I wouldn't do that. But the way I talk and my actions are different. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
Robert, I'm gonna beat the crap. Hey, watch out! There's a curve that don't fall. Like that one time you almost got stuck halfway when we went to the Addison Corner GameStop.
Yes.
No, we didn't go to the Addison game. The bus kept going and it took off without you.
Oh my God. Yes, I remember.
We were coming back from school and I got off. I was like, "Hey, we're getting off here." And I see Robert's face. I was like, "Robert, no!" He's like,
I was like,
"Help!"
save me.
And he kept going. And I got on the other bus for shits and giggles. I wasn't gonna leave without him. I
Unlike me, when you're like, all right, get on the bus and go to hell.
Yeah, I left. I was like, "Bye," and he's like, "Okay." And I get off. I was like, I was just fucking with you. I wasn't gonna leave."
Yeah, you get off like the next stop.
Yeah, and you're like, "Do you know how
And, like,
hard
you
it
actually
is?"
walked back for me.
Yeah, do you know how hard it was? She's like to get across these train tracks. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it sucked.
but me and Robert, we know we're fucking with each other. And if you hear us talking in the forest, that's just us being dumb and like being
Yeah.
big babies. What you don't hear afterwards is like, I love you. Tell me you love me. No, shut up.
No.
Do you want to play Overcooked with me? How
Yeah,
about
sure.
Minecraft? Want to build another bar? And then we'll go and we'll do that and stuff. But it's weird seeing how parallels were. Like I was the exact opposite in high school. I was a social butterfly. I was talking to everybody, but it changed. I started to become a loner. I started not wanting to talk to people. I refused to make other friends, and now my last two closest friends don't even talk to me anymore. One of them is because he has a family, and the other one is he lets people dictate what he likes and what he doesn't like. So he doesn't think for himself, and I don't think that's his fault. I think it's just how he was raised and stuff. So, and I don't like the way he talks about you.
Right.
Even though you don't care, I care.
Yeah.
But I don't really. High school wasn't really a good part of my life. I try not to think about it too much. It was so full of hate and negativity, which is why I speak from a perspective when I talk. Like in high school, people are assholes. In college, no one cares what.
Who cares?
Everyone's just
Yeah.
trying to do their own thing.
It's like,
So
man, I'm just trying to get through the day.
I wonder if me and you would have been friends. They stayed friends if we met in high school.
Man, I don't know. Maybe. Because it was like towards the, I guess the last 2 years of high school. Because I was out of high school for quite a while for medical reasons. And the last 2 years kind of is when I started to change and started to make more friends. So maybe?
Mm, well, me and my friends always did stupid stuff. I had close friends or people who I thought were my friends. The reason why my
Yeah.
friends, I don't have a lot of friends because a lot of them are backstabbing winos. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeek.
No,
Oh
but
no.
a lot of them were not the best of friends.
Right.
But there were a few of them that really made things like okay for me to go through. They're not like you. You are different. You're. It's like talking to myself.
Right.
You
Except
know.
more handsome.
Shut up! You won't even show your face. You won't show the people how
Shut up.
handsome you are. You won't do
No,
it. You won't
never.
even let me take your picture. And the only reason why I have a picture of you is because I caught you off guard.
Yeah.
It's also my school profile picture on Canvas, so that's what everyone sees.
No.
Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, it's on my profile picture in Canvas.
It better not be.
It is.
I'll report you to the school.
For what?
I don't know. Truancy.
I was there all the time. Robert, I was the dad
You're like,
of.
Robert, we're in lockdown. How am I supposed to go?
Yeah, and even then, I would always tell people, Robert, get to class. You're gonna be late. Get to class.
Yeah.
No, do your work.
Like that one time when we were in the library. Do you remember which time I'm talking about?
No, there were a lot of times in the library.
The one where it's pretty recent, where I didn't want to leave. And you're like, Robert, go to class. All right, I challenge you to one more game.
Oh yeah, like one more game of Uno. He's like, I'm not
Yes.
leaving till we finish this battle of Uno, and I beat you in like 4 turns.
Yeah.
And
You're
but
like, all
like
right, let's go to class.
in quick succession, you're like, and you're so dumbfounded, you had no choice. You're like, I gotta go. I gotta go to class. I can't recover from that.
Yeah. I was kind of forced to go to class after that.
Yeah, so finding somebody you like hanging out with, like me and Robert can talk about this for a very long time, and there are points where it may like seem like we're getting like it's only when we're real sleepy that we get very slappy,
Yeah.
and we're like, all right, let's just go to bed before we fucking piss each other off or something. But it I can't tell you how nice it feels to have somebody to talk to about nerd stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And
Actually, pretty interesting now that that you mentioned like the way I was growing up and like what friends I had. You actually met one of them. I don't know if you probably don't remember. Um, it was the nerdy friend. He's not so nerdy anymore. He's actually very proper, which is weird. Um,
when
we
was
met
this?
him on campus. It was
Was it
maybe
pre-podcast or post-podcast?
it was pre-podcast. It was when we used to actually sit around in the student center
And do nothing.
and do nothing. Because I met him right outside the student center.
Yeah. And
Oh,
you
it's
know,
so crazy.
no, I do remember that. And I remember not thinking too much of it because me and you were still just talking. And we
Yeah,
weren't actually the way. Because, for clarification, we do this just because we're, really good friends now. Before it
yeah,
was like, hey man, let's meet at the Last of Us area. And we'll just spam emojis to each other.
yeah,
And we are just like, okay, see you later, man. Let's go hanging out with you. Cut to 2 days ago. Man, you keep pissing me off. I'm gonna go over there and kiss you without a mask. You're like, no, shut up. Don't say those things. And I'm like,
No, my mom's gonna read my phone.
yeah. And you're like, man, coward. You won't make us husbands on The Sims. And now
And lo and behold,
we're husbands with 3 adopted daughters.
and y'all might see that soon.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it soon. You
Yeah.
gotta hang on the building, so you're probably gonna have to do it. I'll just stick
No.
with the lore.
Oh, now that I'm getting a capture card and I know how to build in the
Yeah,
game,
yeah. Because you won't buy me one.
I don't have the
I
money.
know. Yes,
You're
I'm just
getting money.
shut up.
You stole me chicken nuggies.
I do owe you chicken nuggies. They're right here.
Yeah,
But I'm eating
give
them.
me.
No,
Send the pigeon with them.
the pigeon's gonna eat it. What are you talking about?
They're so heavy the pigeon can't even fly.
Um. So do you remember the first time we you know do you remember the first time we went online? Do you remember what game it was that we were playing?
Oh man.
We never actually made friends with each other on PlayStation.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, it wasn't until recently. Which the fuck's up with that? Why didn't you want to be my friend on PlayStation?
I don't know.
We never actually had any games. Or we thought
Yeah.
we didn't have games that we like. We have a lot of games that we like.
Yeah.
Like we'll go out of our way to try to play the same games that we have. Like we were doing Disco and Yakuza,
Yeah.
which I'm the Disco King.
Yeah, sure, whatever, man.
I beat that guy for you and got you Nugget.
Whatever you say, man.
Whatever you say, bro.
There's no evidence of that.
No, we don't. We don't have
Unless you
it.
recorded it.
No, I didn't record that part.
Okay, good.
No, I think my settings were still set too high, so I couldn't record.
Right.
Um, but when when me and Robert finally figured that there was just some weird cosmic sense between us, and it wasn't just like, oh hey, fancy meeting you here. I always knew where he was at,
Yeah.
and I always knew what he was gonna say, and I still do that. Sometimes Robert takes a second just to make sure his house isn't bugged,
Yeah.
because I
Like
say
there would be
stuff.
times on campus we'd be like, all right, go to class. And this was like early in our friendship. And I'll be like, no. And you'll just show up right to where I'm at. And you'll be like, go to class. I'll be like,
Right?
wait, how did you find me?
I was like, it's not very hard.
Yeah.
And there was one recently. I think it was last semester or a few semesters ago, where I was on the bus and you came back from watching the Joker again, and I
Yes.
was like, "Hi." You're like, "What the? What are you doing on the bus? You said you were going home." Class lit
Yeah.
already. Here I am. And
Yeah. I
and then there
remember
was
that.
that one time. What was it? You were doing something, and early on in our friendship, I kept running into you. I was like, "Hi,"
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
I don't think you knew what was going on. You're like, uh, hey. Now it's just
Stop
like
following me.
now it's just like a matter of time. Like, all right, where is he?
Yeah.
Now it's
I
like
had to look over my
Majima
shoulder.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Where I just pop out of nowhere. I was like, hi.
You'll just climb out of a trash can.
Yeah, and the dynamic between us is just that we have this thing where like wild card, and we just go for it.
Yeah.
So, um, what was it that we were doing? We were doing, so you were in class, and this was recently before we were forced to do Zoom classes.
Was it when you were staring through the window at me like a maniac?
No.
Because you stared at me through the window like a maniac.
No, it was when well, the reason why I did that is because I did that power move where I bought all the Twinkies.
Oh, right.
I was
I
like, here you
remember.
go. And it was then, and we started doing this YouTube thing, and Robert didn't want to do the podcast the first time around, the school podcast.
Want to go through with your ideas.
Yeah, but yeah, here
I
we
don't know
are.
why.
So as a recap, don't do what I did. You're just gonna you're just gonna be a whole mess of feelings and angers.
Yeah, you'll be pretty miserable.
Now I'm comfortable talking about this now. I don't really care, even if my family hears this, but most of the time the reason why, again, not only was I only finding like me wanting to be a nerd and me wanting to just to fully embrace being one, it was also because I was also confused on who I was. Like
Yeah.
sexually, I was just somebody who thought that it was bad. And
Yeah.
now I'm more open about it. I don't care.
You're super open about it.
Yeah, I just recently told my family about it. They're like, "All right, but you still gotta clean up the kitchen." I was like, "Damn it! All right, whatever." So I'm
Yeah.
more relaxed, more comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to tell anybody about it, but you still want to talk about it, you can make a friend and confide it to somebody about it, and it's fine. You don't have to tell anybody right away about it. You don't have to tell anybody about who you are. But if you can find somebody who understands you like the way you do, and it doesn't have to be about video games. Me and Robert bonded over Power Rangers, and here we are. It was just a chance.
Because of a stupid sweater that I was wearing.
But see, that wasn't the first time I met Robert. I met him at the bus stop. Saw him once. I was like, "Hey, you're the guy with the Power Ranger sweater," and we ended up having class together, two
Yeah.
classes, which wasn't a
Yeah.
good idea because we got distracted a lot.
Yeah, it was a mess. Well, it was me and you. Then we had a class with Amy, which really kept us distracted because all
Yeah.
three of us being dumb. And the other one was just me and you, which was also bad.
And it didn't help that yeah we have this class. I was like, and it was just like, do we really have to go to class? Well, we're just going to the lab. Let's go to the library.
Yeah. And we're just hanging out in the library.
Yeah, well, we actually became more proactive. We're actually less slacking off and more. All right, let's get this ball going. But if you ever feel like you think that you're gonna crumble apart inside, like there were points where I wanted to scream because I couldn't get it out of my system. Hey, come here, come show up with, come hang out with us. You know, we may not be able to see you or even hear you, but know that we're here. We're here for you. That's what we make these videos for. Come hang out with us. Come relax. You know, make a friend in the comments. You know, you don't have to be alone on this. We can be, you know, here, even if it's just over the screen or over the phone. Or who knows, maybe you might have a chance encounter like me and Robert and just end up meeting in person. So, you know, we're reaching the end of the episode. Uh, got anything else to say? Any last words?
Sleepy.
Before I orbital strike your house with
Oh no.
a precision laser. And it's not even like
Yeah.
set to kill you, to disintegrate you. It's just a mild inconvenience.
It's
Like,
just like really annoying.
yeah, it just burns your eyebrows out. You're like,
Yeah.
the fuck, man.
Or like it lasers my glasses in half.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like, man, I need those.
uh, so next time, I don't know. We'll talk about something else, something that isn't so serious and real.
Feely.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm Justin,
Okay.
and this is Sleepy
Good to
Robbie,
know.
and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you next mission.
I'm still not saying it.
Next mission. Bye.
Bye.